Hey, look out. It is Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
If you're watching Zoom, you saw Kington just jump back about 10 feet. He probably hasn't heard that in a while. Hey, look out. Hey, Ken, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's so good to see you guys. I wish we were like in person together and stuff.
Yeah, one of these days, Alice, we are gonna be in the studio together.
Without masks, by the way.
So what are they going to do later on once we, you've got everybody with masks. If somebody comes in and holds the place up, you don't know who's who, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just start wearing a ski mask. There's no effect whatsoever, but at least I'll be in compliance with the social pressures and peer pressure.
The social pressures. I like that.
Yeah, it's gone from social distancing to social pressuring.
Yes, wow.
And Ken Kington on Zoom and on the radio, and we love that hat. One of his sons designed that hat, and it's actually a water tower, although I thought it was maybe a UFO. Dan thought a jellyfish, but whatever it is, it's really cool looking. So catch us up on the family. Everybody healthy? No hospital visits, right, in the Kington family?
Yeah, after I got out a couple weeks ago, we decided that was enough for a while, and we're doing great. Actually, that's been my favorite silver lining to the whole thing is just every night we're eating dinner together. Graham went back to UGA to finish up online there, but he had some projects because he's a senior. But we're doing all kinds of fun. We're eating dinner together. We've taken turns kind of cooking, and we're doing puzzles. We're binge watching former seasons of The Amazing Race. What are you guys binge watching? I'm very curious.
Kathy's been binge watching old seasons of Survivor for some reason.
Okay.
She's getting on that kick. And there's like 40 seasons to watch, so we've got a ways to go. And they started to watch The Tiger King. Have you watched that?
Yes.
That was interesting.
I just feel so much better about myself.
Yeah.
I told Heather a couple episodes in, it was just like, I love being boring. Wow.
Yes,
It is.
yes.
It's like Walmart on steroids.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Isn't it interesting though? I've watched it because I have ADD. I can only watch a few episodes and I jump around, and I'll be back probably finishing it up about 2025 or so. But watching 3 episodes, I'm like, it's amazing to me that people get sucked into it. Now I started to, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But people have really fallen for this.
Oh yeah, people hate Carroll Baskin. I mean,
oh yeah. And I love the background to it. I love the fact that they really, there's some huge parallels to what was going on in cults. I mean, literally, it was mind control. It was social controls. It was just a really neat social study. I haven't seen the last one, which is kind of the flashback, the 8th episode people have talked about, but I did have a guy, we were talking about food the other day, and I'd written something about something that we'd cooked, and this guy said, hey, you need to try Thai food, and I think it's Thai. Is that the way you spell it?
Right.
And I said, I'm not really a spicy guy. He said, well, check out some of my recipes. He says, I have a website. I'm like, great, send me the website. It's ThaiGerking.
Wow.
That's clever.
That's very clever. So I can't help but think of the people trying to find Tiger King and find that and go, where's the guy with the cats? This is recipes. So.
Oh man. So Ken, catch us up on what happened, because the last time we talked to you was before you went to the hospital, which was just recently. Tell us what happened.
Well, I had open heart surgery 3 years ago, and my normal routine, I'm doing really, really well. I kind of have my time in the morning with the Lord, and then I stretch and I do a run. And with the Y closed, I've been doing this little 5K loop that I run, and I just woke up and my chest was really tight, which I have little twinges and stuff that happen all the time. But I thought, you know what, I'll stretch out. It'll be fine. And it got tighter and broader and tighter and broader. And I got about, 0.3 of a mile into my run, and it was getting tighter and tighter. And if you've ever had heart problems, they recommend to not have tightness in the chest.
Yeah.
So I walked home and went to the hospital, and Heather just she woke up and took me, dropped me off at the door because she couldn't go in.
Right.
And they were even with the tightness of chest, I got the whole COVID processing. They're like, okay, we're going to take your temperature. We're going to ask you all these questions. And they're like, well, why are you here? And I said, well, I had open heart surgery and I have very tightness in my chest. And they're like, oh, okay, come back here. And they hooked me up to an EKG and ended up, it was actually a really good experience because I hadn't really had any major testing for a couple of years, which they identified was not normal protocol. So I got a new cardiologist who is incredible, went through every EKG that I've ever had and looked at everything and identified what it was. And I think the highlight was that I got to do a stress test in my underwear in the hospital. So that was.
Did it show that you were stressed? Or
film at 11.
I didn't even have to get on the treadmill. My heart rate just went up from anxiety. But no, it was. But they did that. They did a nuclear stress test. They did an echo. They did all these tests, which is great. So it helped them nail it down. And I think that's probably to kind of parallel it to what everybody's going through when you're looking at circumstances that aren't good, which I think we're looking at right now. When you get the truth about what's happening, it changes everything. And to sit down with a cardiologist who literally knows my heart better than I do because he knows what to look for, and for him to say, I've met with a neurologist, I've met with other cardiologists, we've looked at this, and here's what's going on. And when he says, it's not perfect, but it's not bad, and here's what we're going to do, and here's what you can do, and here's what you can expect, man, that stress level just goes way down.
Yeah.
And I find the same in our situation now with the whole coronavirus is when you look at the facts and the truth, man, stress level just goes way down. I mean, just in the state of Georgia, one quick fact that 99.998% of the people in the state of Georgia do not have the coronavirus. 99.998. And of those who do have it, over 90% of them are either in a hospital or are shelter in place, and they're nowhere near. So if you calculate it, 99.999, they're like 7 or 8 nines and a 9.
Right.
Percent of the people we're going to come in contact with don't even have a chance of having it.
Yep.
So when you get that fact down, you just go, okay, yes, be wise. Yes, especially if you have a suppressed immune system or something, be careful. But the people we're running into don't have it.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah. And in the big picture of the world, that number goes up even more. And I think what's happening now is that people are seeing, wait a minute, the panic and the chaos that TV has been feeding and the media has been creating is just, it's not true. It's just not even close to true. More people will die from car accidents this year than will from any virus. And yet, are we saying, okay, nobody can drive anywhere anymore because we want to save people? And
stay 6 feet away from other cars, okay?
Well, that might help.
I guess, okay, all right, fine, yeah.
There would be traffic jams everywhere. So the truth is really key. I mean, what has been the experience where you guys are? Is it the same? Just, oh my goodness, perception of this? Man, it's everywhere and it's in the air, and if you breathe it, you're going to get it, and you're going to die within 3 days. It's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, not so much here. Hey, on Zoom and on the radio, Kenn Tiger Kington there. And he'll be, when this is all said and done, and no doubt he'll be at a place near you where you can see him and buy good Kenn Tiger Kington merch, which would be Awesome.
Kenn Tiger Kington. I like that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you heard that first right here.
I'm going to have to work on my golf game for that. Or go get my neighbor's cats and put them in the backyard and put Sharpie stripes on them.
Real quick, Ken, we got to take a break in just about a minute or so. But all right, on the other side of this, obviously the economy has suffered greatly. And to get it back to where it was may take some time. Okay, it will take some time. What do you see? How do you see us going to that, to the end, to the goal, both spiritually and economically?
Well, economically, I really believe that the economy is going to come back, and it's going to come back. I think around the first quarter of next year. I think Christmas is going to be huge this year because people are just going to be going, yes, we're back to normal. Yay, let's move forward. That's going to come back because the infrastructure is there. And when the news is just like, oh my goodness, there's 20 million jobless claims. Well, yeah, because you shut down 100% of the businesses. Mm-hmm. So 20%, that's not bad, but it's going to come back. And then spiritually, I really prayed at the beginning of it, Lord, what do I need to do with this time? And I think it's been a great exercise in, God is not shocked by this. He's sovereign. He laid on my heart, he said, hey, you've been talking about writing this book for 2.5 years. And so I have spent a bunch of time. We're done with the rough draft, the first edit, the second one. And that book is probably going to be coming out before Christmas, probably in the next 2 months. And I'll be sure and send you guys the online version. We can talk about it on another show. That'd be fun. But it's just, okay, what's the situation? How can I be faithful today? What am I doing today moving forward? And I even spoke this last week on Matthew 6:33 and 34 of just seek ye first the kingdom of God. Today, God, you're still God. And then don't worry about tomorrow. Today's got enough worries of its own. What am I doing to be faithful today? And it's so easy to get overwhelmed with what could be, what might be, what needs to be. But just today, what am I doing today? And I found that's a recipe no matter what. And it really is successful. And if we seek him first and obedient during today, we're going to be fine.
That is so good. Hey, Ken, let's do this. We got to go to a break, but let's catch up with you in a couple of weeks and we'll talk more. I'm sure we'll be in the same situation as far as socially isolated, maybe on the other end of it, where we're looking forward to get back to the office. But let's give you a ring and put you on Zoom and we'll catch up. Hey, we'll be right back. We got to take a break. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.